Hi, my name is Laurissa and I was part of the production team for the new Boeta B movie called The B Team. In this movie, I was the production manager and I was also the boom pole operator. I would definitely say that this was one of the biggest productions I've done so far. It was something different from what we normally do. Normally we do like short films and we focus on more serious issues like the social issues that we're currently going through in society. But this was something different because it's more of a comedy and it's like it just brings a different flavor to what you used to, because there's also like one person playing different characters, so you have to like kind of soos mense in Afrikaans sal sê jy moet jou kop hou, like with continuity and all of that, because it's different from just each one is playing their own character, but now there's actually one person playing multiple characters, which can be a bit challenging at times. I wouldn't say it was more difficult to work with comedians than serious characters. Yes, it was a bit challenging because you have to keep like a straight face at times, and the people are so funny, like you can't laugh while we're shooting. So once action, then you have to get into that mode of just being serious and not necessarily now spoiling a perfect scene by bursting out laughing or so. But it was definitely a bit difficult and a bit challenging at times, but I would say it was worth it because afterwards you get into that mode where you can actually laugh about it, so it's not like you're serious all the time on set. So yeah, to also help with the production with directing and like supervising, while Kurt, who's the main director, is busy acting either as Boeta B or as Geraldine. It was very exciting and it was something different because it also gave me an opportunity to grow and to work on something different that I'm already used to. When I read the script for the first time, I could definitely relate to the story because the story deals with everyday issues. It's things that we all go through. Sometimes people don't necessarily want to name things on their name, but the story, everybody would be able to relate to a part of the story at least. And being a script writer myself and reading someone else's story, for me it was very easy to get into what that person is actually envisioning with the actual story, because usually when I write a story or we're busy working on a new story, then I put myself in the story itself, trying to play it out in my mind. So while I was reading this story, I was actually placing myself in the moment. So it was a different experience to read something else that someone else was writing, but it was also nice because it also gave me a different perspective from someone else's mindset in how they write a story. So I definitely did learn a lot through the story. For the people out there, this is something that PE hasn't seen before. We're taking things internationally. We're not just keeping it locally. We're bringing our A game and we're gonna give you screen time that you've never experienced, never seen before, because this is gonna be great, because the storyline in the movie and the people who's playing in the movie, they brought their A game. So if you're gonna miss this, you're gonna miss out on something spectacular. Being a production manager, with that role comes a lot of responsibility, because you basically the person on set that needs to take charge of things. You need to make sure that everything goes down smoothly, that there's no headaches, you have to put out all the fires, etc. And when you work with such a huge crew, like where there's so many different people that you have to work with, it can be difficult because different people have different schedules, and people will sometimes expect you must work around their schedule, but at the end of the day you must come up with a plan to accommodate everything, because you want to put your story out there, you want to put the best version of your story out there, so you don't just want to settle for whatever is just your first best. So I would say at times it was a bit difficult to work with different people, because not everyone envision your story as you want it to be. So sometimes people would feel that you're unfair, and yes, along the line I fired a person or two But I mean, it comes with the job, and when you're in that moment, you can't think of people's feelings, because you need to work towards your goal. And yes, some people would feel that sometimes you're a bit insensitive and you don't really feel towards their situation. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a business, this is our trade. So with each production, there's different things that happen, because you work with different people, you meet new people, and each environment is different depending on the story that you're busy shooting. And for this production, since it was mostly some comedy, it was a quite relaxed set. But people think, most of the time people just see the final product out there and people just talk about, oh, we had fun times. But I mean, at the end of the day, it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours. And speaking from personal experience, there were days when we got home past 10 at night, because we were working on a production, and people would just say, oh, we had so much fun. But it's not always just laughter. There is times when we step on each other's toes, when we have disagreements. But I must say, the team that I'm working with, Foolproof Entertainment, together with BWS Media, we a good team, because we have that understanding. We won't force things on each other. We would always ask, what is your opinion? And then we would come together, and then we will work on a plan. So it's not just one, I have to say this in Afrikaans, jou woord is wet. No, it doesn't work that way. We would always come together, put our heads together, and then we would come up with the plan. And for people out there who just see the final product, the final product, it will always be beautiful. It will always be something to remember. But just from my side, there's a lot of hard work that goes with it. So personally, me being part of behind the scenes and a production team, I have a lot of respect for my co-workers, because I know the long hours and the dedication that we have to put into whatever production we put out there for the world to see. I think did very well for producing and directing his first feature film, because he didn't only direct, but he also played 3 characters. And that takes a lot, because for one person to remember 3 people's lines, and when you work with someone like Wani Lewis, you better remember your lines. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for what he has done with this production, because he did not only bring his A game with the characters that he acted out, but also with the directing. Even while he's acting, you have to think of, oh, we need to do that scene. So I think he did a great job with his first film. To direct, the director can sometimes come across as, oh, you just want to be in charge. And to be honest, at first I was a bit more reserved, because I didn't just want to say, oh no, I think that could have been done better, because it's the director, he knows what he wants with his script. But then, as I said earlier, luckily we are a team who understand each other, and we won't just force things on one another. We always willing to listen to one another, because we know we all have the same goal in mind. So yeah, sometimes it was nice to be a bit in charge. So yeah, I definitely enjoy that. My biggest challenge was being the boom operator. You might think that mic doesn't look heavy, but if you have to stand in the air with your arms high above your head, holding that boom for say 5 minutes, sometimes that thing will get heavy. And then you get someone again like Mr. Wani Lewis, who won't say cut even though the scene is finished. So yeah, I would say that was one of the most, because in a production, sound is very important. So if I messed up, then it would have been a bigger problem. So sometimes that was a bit very challenging for me. But yeah, we managed to work through it, and I think I have a few muscles or two that I gained through that. If you want to be part of a production or to work with the production team or a production company, my advice would be like be sure that that is what you want to do, because there comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of commitment with it. What I've learned through this is that if your partner or your family doesn't support what you do, then it's going to be even more difficult, because in this industry there's no trading hours. A scene would be scheduled for tonight at 12 o'clock or from 7 a.m. till 12 at night. So there's no working hours per se, and that can be very challenging for some people, because if you have a girlfriend or a wife or someone at home waiting for you, or you have kids at home and you don't have that understanding or that relationship with them about what it is that you do, and they don't support what it is that you do, then it can be very difficult. But at the end of the day, this is a very nice industry to work in, because you get to meet new people, you get to experience new things all the time. So if you want to become part of a production or a production company, then I would say go for it. But with that said, just be sure that that is what you want to do, because it can be challenging, and yeah, you have to be committed in this industry. Guys, you have to come and watch this movie, because this, if you like Medea and Tyler Perry, well, we have our even better. We have our own Boeta B, not Tyler Perry, we have our Boeta B in the B team. So be ready to be blown away, because this production is going to be spectacular and something you haven't seen before. So yeah, don't miss out. Don't be that person that can't talk when we talk about the B team.